So I'm running for Senate District 34, which is everything on this side of 95, and then it goes up 24 and takes in Bel Air. What I like most about running for office is that I can walk up to people and ask them questions about their lives, and they don't look at me like I'm a nosy SOB. And they'll actually talk to me. And the stories are fascinating. But the story that I keep hearing most often repeated is, because I love going to small businesses, medium businesses. And I go into these folks, and businessmen and women, seems to be a predominance of men, particularly over 40. But it's a repeat story, which is, I'm doing everything my dad and mom told me to do. I get my butt up at 5 o'clock in the morning or before. I work 12 hours a day. I'm putting everything on the line for my small business. I got nothing more to give. I'm good to my employees. I'm doing everything that I know how to do. And I'm slipping. And I'm not sure I'll be here next month. I want to be here next month. I got 5 or 6 people working for me, and they're great folks, and they got families, and they're struggling too. But I don't know what, it's not working. I don't understand it. Because it's what my dad and mom did, it's what my grandparents did, and I went to school, and I did all those things right I was supposed to do, but it's just not gelling. And that's not right. We've got to turn around. We can't continue to run a state where we really don't respect. We really don't. We don't respect the hard work that these folks are doing. We don't respect their commitment. When you can waste hundreds of millions of tax dollars and not really feel a whole lot of guilt about that, that's wrong, because these small business people bust their butts. And I remember a small businessman in Bel Air who told me one time that the difference between him taking a week off and not taking a week off every year was the Bel Air barbecue bash. Because that additional bit of business enabled him to actually, it motivated him to stay in business because he got to take off for a week. That's a pretty small margin when you're running your own business to have that. When we look and say, well, what is it about us? We want to be able to do this. There's no reason that we can't do this. There was a Frenchman de Tocqueville, and most of you know him, and he traveled this country back after the revolution. And we often read what de Tocqueville said about us because he was looking at us through different eyes. And de Tocqueville looked at America through different eyes, and he said a lot of things that kind of make sense to us now, who we are as a people and what we do and what we believe. I had this Tocqueville moment. I was able, back in 2006, I ended up in Tikrit, Iraq. And I had spent most of my life in the U.S. I had a lot of military experience and stuff, but most of it in the U.S. So I landed in Tikrit, Iraq, in Saddam's hometown. And the young Iraqis there came up, and I was just very impressed. Our job was to help teach them how to basically stand up a democratic government at the provincial level, which is basically 1 million plus people or so, 1.5 to 2 million. And to see these young people who believed in America, who were learning about America on their little phones, who were doing everything they could to understand. They'd been looking at America for years, for their whole lives. They believed in America. They believed in the opportunity, the freedom, what we stood for. And all they wanted was a little taste of that. And so what we have to appreciate is we've got it. We still have it. We just got to recognize what it is that we have and what made America strong, what makes Maryland, what should make Maryland strong. Because here we sit beside the Chesapeake Bay, surrounding the Chesapeake Bay. We got major airports, major roadways, rail lines. We got New York to the south, or to the north, Washington to the south, Philadelphia. We have no excuses for not being successful. I was at the Haverty Grace First Friday last night, and it's such a wonderful event, and I think, well, you do have the Chesapeake Bay, which makes it pretty easy to have a nice affair. So, hats off to Haverty Grace, but that's a great backdrop. But ditto for us here in Maryland in general. We got too much going right here not to have. We should be screaming at the top. Is anything a C- for being business friendly, for being a good administrator? Is anything a C-? We have no excuse for having an A+. Instead of getting a high unemployment rate, we should have a high employment rate. There's no reason for this. So folks, what I'm running for office for is, what I really believe is that government done right can be done very well. But you got to do it right. And that means the legislature has to do the legislature's job. I don't want them doing the church's jobs. I don't want them doing the parents' jobs. I don't want them doing the federal government's job. I want the state to do the state's job. And that means that you make the state function. We don't even do little things like, I come up Route 24, I got to stop at 3 to 4 lights every time on the boulevard. We don't do highway traffic lights right. If I ride the MARC train, can you do the MARC train between here and Washington? About 4 or 5 times, if you ride that, the guy actually has to get out with a little step stool and put it on the tracks to let people get up and down. That's not where we need to be right now. So what I'm running because I believe in Maryland, I believe in America, I believe that we have the opportunity, we have the people, we have what it takes. It's just that we've got to do the job right. That's called good governance. It's called really focusing on the task of governing. Governing is a business in and of itself. So we've got to do government right, we've got to do taxes right, we've got to do spending right, we've got to do efficiency right. And if we do that, then I do have an answer for those small business people on Route 40. I know that we will succeed, that they will succeed, that we'll do government right, and then we'll all, at the end of the day, have lots of great employee people and a happy community. So thank you all. It's great to talk to you.